So I have level. That's good. Is there any sound though? Alright, so there is sound. Very loud though. What's up, Buxy? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Screen will probably go black for a second. I can hear you. The volume. Alright, let me see what I can do. See if that helps. Turned it up a little, so that should be at least a little bit better. But we're going to go ahead and recap the season. You can see Alright, so, of course, if you missed it, we won our bowl game by 6 points, almost choked that one away. That would have been a very bad loss, but ended up being our first bowl win in a long time, as our first bowl appearance, I believe, was, I guess, 2006. First bowl win since 2003. When we had 3 straight years of pretty good years. I think, I guess, the Sun Bowl, this was the Pac-12 Championship, and the Holiday Bowl. Then we ended up winning the Las Vegas Bowl this year. Hey Rob, 2227. So we'll go ahead and look at some of our stats from the year. So I thought Luke Falk played well. We didn't really ask him to do that much, but 21 touchdowns to 8 interceptions is pretty good. I mean, pretty happy with only 8 interceptions, especially I believe he had like probably 3 or 4 in the first game, which started to worry me. Thought about starting Peyton Bender, but stuck with Falk. Like I said, I think he had a pretty good year. 62% completion percentage, which is not terrible. Was sacked 26 times on the year. So that's actually pretty good. That's 2 times a game, basically. Then running backs is where we were really good. We had 2 1,000-yard rushers. However, both of them got hurt this year. Jamal Morrow in the bowl game, and Gerard Wicks, I believe against Colorado, and he had just broken 1,000 yards and was averaging 9.1 yards per carry. Pretty amazing right there. Gabe Marks got 11 carries, averaged 10.2 yards per. Don Williams did well on a couple of jet sweep type runs, some triple options too. 4 touchdowns for Kevin Chapman. Nice to hear from him. 112 yards per game from Gerard Wicks. And this is what a lot of explosive plays from both of them. has 12 20-plus yards and 11 20-plus yards from Morrow and Wicks, and only one fumble combined between the two. And Peyton Bender fumbled, and 5 fumbles from Luke Falk. Receiving, neither of our senior receivers really were that great. As 30 catches for Gabe Marks after having 600 yards last year, 7 touchdowns, nearly 20 yards per catch. I was expecting a pretty big year. Not that big, only 2 touchdowns. Dom Williams was our number 2 leading receiver, but he did play well. Only 3 touchdowns. Craycraft played really well. 6 touchdowns. Our leading receiver tied for the lead in receptions and the most yards per catch, along with, I guess that's our longest receiving play of the year. But he also didn't have the most drops, but was second. LaRue had 6. Robert Lewis had 4, and not that many targets. Dave Robinson had like 3, I want to say, in the first couple of games. So it was nice to see him being a little bit better. And a couple of guys at the bottom. Calvin Green, who played a little bit in the bowl game, had a couple of rushing plays. He had 6 carries in the bowl game when we had pretty much everyone get hurt. And Andre had 1 catch. Bartolone had a touchdown. Steve Stewart finished the year pretty strong. 5 catches, 72 yards, and a touchdown. Pretty much all in the last 3 or 4 games, probably. Like I said, only, I think, 26 sacks on Luke Falk, which isn't terrible. That's 2 per game, especially going up against a lot of very talented defensive lines. I thought our line played pretty well, and a good bit of returning players. We do lose our left guard and left tackle, but Woodard will move to the left tackle because he started at right tackle this year. And on defense, Daryl Monroe was really good both years. 16 and 12 tackles for losses, 28 in his career, and 4 sacks both years. No interceptions this year, 2 in his first year, but I thought he played very well, really good in the run game. Darius Lamora, still a sophomore, a very good player. 7 tackles for losses. Kaliulus, who will be graduating, 63 tackles. I thought he got beat pretty badly a couple times in coverage both years. He did end up with 3 career interceptions. Viao, 19 tackles for losses. I thought our defensive line was really good this year. The second defensive tackle spot, which was played by Maurice Christ, wasn't that great. Tight end. Honestly, I like a combination, but if I have to pick one, I would much rather have a guy who can be a good receiving threat. So, sacks on the year, 12 for Destiny, 11 for Robert Barber. He played really well, and he'll be returning. He was an All-American. So, interceptions, 5 from Charleston White. He had a couple of last year. Yeah, 2 last year, so 7 on his career so far. 3 for Jeff Farrar. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So, Jeff Farrar, 3 interceptions. He didn't have any last year. 44 tackles, pretty good for a corner. Corner Taliulu had 2 interceptions. Daquan Brown, Eliason, Cannon, Lamora, Pippins all had an interception. Lamora, Farrar, Daquan Brown had a couple of dropped interceptions. Year, but did recover 3. That was nice. And then no defensive touchdown. I'd like to have a couple of more big plays. In Brushers with 18-21, playing pretty well on the season. Pretty much his misses were pretty sure. I missed one from 29 and 2 from out. Follow. Only 9 inside of the 20. That seems a little low. Returning, I thought we had 2 pretty good kick returners. And Zaire Andre and Marcellus Pippins both were over 100 yards. So nice seasons from them. And Keith Harrington turns in the final probably 2 or 3 games, and I think did pretty well. Marcellus Pippins is our primary returner. 33, 364, only 11 yards per return, so not that good. The leaders in the nation. Suddenly, I was looking, he was amazing this year. Not that many yards because he was hurt for some of the games. Like 40 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Nate Sudfeld, 3,500 yards, 34 for, I guess that's Cole, and O'Corn, also 34. 40 touchdowns for Hundley, 39 for Sudfeld. Most interceptions with Sean McGuire, who plays for Florida State, who is in the national championship against Southern Cal. That should be an interesting matchup. See who pulls that game out. Anyone else? 41 sacks for Fresno State. Connor, Keith Harris, Roderick Williams, Kenneth Dixon, Don Jackson, who we played in year 1. Played pretty well. Collins, 21 touchdowns. Jamal Williams, Rock Thomas, 17 touchdowns for those 2. And then fumbles, Luke Falk close to the top on that. Receiving 91 catches for a guy from Akron. Great year from him. Devin Fuller, Devin Allen, and Nelson Aguilar are the top 3. All Pac-12 guys. German. Vial and Barber are the number 1 and 2 in sacks in the nation, so that's nice to see. A lot of pressure from both of them, and Barber will be returning for his senior year, unless I guess he does decide to declare for the NFL draft. Eric Murray, 9 interceptions. Really anything else? Look at some career stats for some of the seniors. See if there's anyone worth looking at. Luke Falk, nothing really. I think he threw like 5 passes last year, so most of that is this year. Jamal Morrow, 1,500, only 400 yards last year, 4 yards per carry. Gerard Wicks didn't do much last year, 50 yards. Gabe Marks had a couple of nice runs. 20 over 20, 2 over 20. Dom Williams, 2 over 20 yards. So I thought he played pretty well. Gabe Marks, 10. Marks ends up with 1,000 yards in his career, 9 touchdowns. A little bit of a letdown this year, as he averaged basically 20 yards per carry, 7 touchdowns last year. He had a huge year, not quite as big this year, mainly because we didn't rely on the passing game quite as much. Rue played pretty well last year and this year. 2 drops last year, 6 this year. Jamal Morrow, 45 catches so far. Dom Williams, basically 1 year. He missed a good chunk of last year, and then he's pretty much buried on the depth chart after he got some nice performances from other players. 34 catches, ends up with 39 on his career, over 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, Daryl Monroe, 155 tackles on his career. Kaliulu, 110 sacks. 220 from Destiny Vial. 15 from Robert Barber. Kalulu 3 on his career, 2 for Monroe, both last year. And then only 1 touchdown still on this team. Other than that, we'll look at Heisman winner, if you missed it, was Matt Johnson out of Bowling Green. So a big year from a guy from Bowling Green, ends up winning the Heisman. Tommy Armstrong, Braxton Miller, Tyrone Swoops, and Rock Thomas. Alright, so All-Americans, I think we had a couple. Marcus Mariota is the #1 quarterback, and the first, Gavin Allen, Nelson Aguilar, Jalen Fitzpatrick, who I don't remember playing really against. Nebraska is 3 offensive linemen, 4 offensive linemen on the first team. Pretty incredible. Leonard Williams. Robert Barber ends up being the defensive tackle. No returner, second team. Jarrell Adams. So another defensive line or offensive lineman from Nebraska. A couple more from Nebraska. Daryl Monroe is second team, all NCAA. Darius Lamore, second team. And any on the freshmen, we played against Seth Bradford, against Royce. We played against him. Any real standout freshmen. All Pac-12 is Marcus Mariota. And Javorius Allen, Freeman Devin Allen, Destiny Vial gets first team all Pac-12, Robert Barber, Daryl Monroe, Ralston White, Darius Lamora. No returners or kickers. Jeff Farrar makes second team. That's a little surprising. If he did have 3 interceptions, was not expecting him to make a second team. Else, Quentin Brushers makes second team all Pac-12. That's it for that. Award winners. Narek, we have Ralston White, Darius Lamora, and Daryl Monroe, along with Destiny Vial. So 4 players finalists for that award. No one wins it though. Vial comes up second in the Nagurski. Robert Barber is 9th. Brian, I doubt we have anyone. Nope, Skylar Miles made it though. No one on Blitnikoff. Top tight end. Nope. That's linebacker. Daryl Monroe's a finalist. That's nice to see. 82 tackles, 12 for a loss. Then the Thorpe, Charleston White's the 5th place. Darius Lamora's in 12th place. Pressures is for Groza. That goes to Robert Aguayo. Doubt our punter made it. Nope. And then Zaire Andre actually makes best returner, I guess is what that would be. A little surprising. Not the greatest, I guess, compared to everyone else. He has a touchdown too. Much it for that. See if there's anything else. I don't think so. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see on this thing before we advance and see the results of the bowl games. Yeah, just tell me if you want to see anything else. think we can view a lot of this after we go to the end of bowl season, so we'll go ahead and advance. See who the national champion is, see who won some of the BCS bowls. Yeah, I'll look at recruiting once we get a little further in, and we'll look at like the prospects that I still have left on the board, but that's a little bit later. We can see who else we want to get and who we already have. I'll do like a whole recap on that once we get there. Yes, I went up a level. I think I was already level 13 though, so we'll have to see who won everything. Yeah, we want to see. So the national champion is Florida State. They beat Southern Cal in the Orange Bowl. Nebraska gets shut out by Auburn, who wins 34-0. Sugar Bowl, Houston loses to Mississippi State. Fiesta Bowl, BYU wins over Texas. That's a pretty interesting thing. And then Virginia Tech ends the year 12-1 with a Rose Bowl victory. A team that we took to overtime, and they ended up playing really, really well in the season. With anyone else from like the Pac-12 with any interesting bowl result? Washington, 1-point victory in the Sun Bowl. That's interesting. Oregon destroys Baylor in the Alamo Bowl. Surprised Baylor didn't put up more points in that one. Stanford wins. Looks like the Pac-12's doing pretty good in their bowl games. See anyone else? UCLA wins as they got as number 6 overall stuck in the Holiday Bowl. We won our bowl, of course. Probably it. Arizona wins. So pretty much, I think every Pac-12 team won their bowl game. Look at the final standings. So, Florida State is the number 1 overall team, and we end up receiving some votes. We're not ranked at the end of the year, but I'll at least take getting some votes. Yeah, both polls, we were pretty close to being ranked, so maybe we can sneak into the top 25 preseason. That would be really nice to see. We saw the Heisman, saw award winners, bowl results. I think that's about it, and we can go ahead and get into the offseason and start moving forward and seeing some of these players moving forward and who's leaving, who's staying. Go ahead. But if there's anything else that you guys want to see before we move ahead, because next is like players leaving and then recruiting and that type of stuff. I don't think there's really anything worth seeing left here. I guess we can look at our schedule. We ended up winning our first game a little closer than I thought. A 3-point loss in overtime to the team that finishes, I guess, number 2 or number 3 in the nation. Blowout victory against Arizona State. Destroy Idaho. And Stanford we beat. Lose to Arizona by 3 points. That was a close game. And then just barely squeak out a victory against Cal. Beat Colorado pretty badly, but that's game Gerard Wicks went down. Yeah, my favorite part's also recruiting. I love seeing the new players who are coming in and figuring out like what their roles will be and everything, and just seeing who the future faces of the Dynasty will be. That's always, like you said, that's my favorite part too. And we played Oregon close for most of the game. Ended up getting blown out by 26 points. They really pulled away in the second half. Yeah, 23 points in the second half after they scored 54 yards with 13 seconds left, beat Oregon State, lost to Washington, sort of choked that game away, and then ended up winning our bowl game. Pretty much it. So we'll go ahead and advance to the offseason now. Get to the end of the season. We're pretty much in one recruiting battle, but we do have, I believe, 4 players that I'm really targeting trying to get. Talked it over, and we're excited that we stay here for another contract. I wasn't planning on leaving, so a 4-year extension, and they still only want 5 wins a season, so not a very high ceiling. I will take that. You can see 1-6 against the top 25. That's something that we have got to improve. Our only win is against Utah. That's something that we just have really got to play better in the bigger games. We're beating up on some of the smaller teams, but not able to beat the Oregons or teams like that of the world. Let's see. LSU. Wow. So LSU fires Les Miles. Kevin Sumlin got fired also. So 2 big coaches in the SEC are gone. That's pretty interesting. Go ahead and move to players leaving. Hopefully we don't get any transfers. I think we have a pretty good freshman class and young players, but we just need them to stay so our plan can really start to work out and really come together. No one transfer. Please, no one transfer. We'll go, once this is done, we'll look at what coaches are leaving, see if any of our coaches left, any big coaches from like the Big 12, the Pac-12. I don't know what I'm saying. So Randy Edsall, the new coach, I guess defensive coordinator at Cal. Colorado fired their entire coaching staff, ends up with Joe Wickline. I have no idea who that is. Charlie Weiss gets fired, and Lincoln Riley comes in after I guess they were not very good last year. Scott Hazelton leaves, and Kyle comes in. I think was it after Holiday was. Yeah, Kevin Sumlin, though, ends up at UCLA. Southern Cal gets Les Miles. So a lot of really nice coordinators. And Kyle Whittingham gets fired. And our defensive coordinator gets an extension along with our extension. Guess it went down. I don't know what to use. So did it go down? Got me worried for a second. I don't know if you missed we'll actually look at all the other big conferences too. See if anyone big went anywhere new. Really, it doesn't look like it. So Cliff Kingsbury, new offensive coordinator after Larry Fedora was fired. Right there. Maryland fired their entire staff. Hazelton is now the head coach at Purdue. 12. Don't know who that is. Kirby Smart left for a new job. He's no longer the head coach at Kansas. Fired everyone. Fired Cliff Kingsbury and Kevin McGivern. If you missed it, UCLA added Kevin Sumlin, and Southern Cal added Les Miles as coordinators. And then we got an extension, and Mike Resky, Cam Cameron, and Les Miles got fired. Kevin Sumlin also got fired. So Kirby Smart, he's now at Texas A&M, so that's pretty interesting. Now we have players leaving. Please, 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 no one transfer. No one transfers. Gabe Marks projected to go round 5. So no Destiny Vial. 22 career sacks. No Gunnar Eklund. No Daryl Monroe. No Joe Dahl. No Xavier Cooper. No Dom Williams. Who do we graduate? Our number 1 and number 2 receiver. Graduate any tight end. Tackle. Number 1, 2, and 3 left outside. Number 1 and 2 middle linebacker. Our starting right outside linebacker. Free safety, and our kicker. So a lot of key players are gone now, and a lot of talented players too. I guess that's all. No one transferring. Get one more look at who all's leaving. One player getting drafted. Dahl, Xavier Cooper. A lot of starters, especially on defense, and a lot of linebackers graduating. Less key players like Maurice Chris, Evan McClellan, and a backup right guard. See if we get anyone transferring. Love to get someone. Give me someone from like Alabama who's not going to play. Anyone else get drafted? Gabe Marks ends up going actually in the 4th round, so that's nice to see. One, Alabama has Yeldon, Cooper, Collins, O.J. Howard, Kenyon Drake, a ton of players from them. Yeah, I think he'll be okay. Yes! Sorry. But, I got a pretty good kicker. You'll see him a little later. He's got a okay leg. Not the most accurate. But Scooby Wright is going to the NFL. That is awesome to see. He pretty much destroyed us in that first game and really hurt us this year. The first year, I think he caused like the fumble that ended our game against them. Arizona State, Jalen Strong's gone. That's nice to see. Arkansas, no one going pro. Auburn has Sammy Coates, Casanova McKenzie. Anyone else? Anyone from Baylor? Sean Oakman. Clemson. They have Nortman, Sharon Peak, Alexander, Colorado, no one going pro, UConn, Florida, DJ Humphreys, Dante Fowler. Holy crap, Florida State has 3 first-rounders and a second-rounder. Georgia has Todd Gurley finally leaving school. Idaho, nope. Mariota goes first round, probably first pick. Eric Armstead leaves finally. Rodney Hardrick. And DeForest Buckner, who I think got a sack or two in our game. No one from Oregon State. Carolina. Brandon Shell, Brandon Wild. Farrell Cooper declares for the draft along with Shaq Rowland. Stanford, Andres Pete goes pro. Kevin Hogan goes pro. UCLA. Oh my goodness. Brett Hundley. Fuller. Players I know. Cal. As Leonard Williams, Nelson Aguilar, Dua Cravens, Boris Allen, and Trey Madden all go pro. Utah has a couple. Luther Maddie goes pro in the first round. Peters, Shaq Thompson, and Corey Littleton. A guy from Wyoming goes pro who we played this year. All for that. Any transfer requests? Nope. Okay. Forward once again. And now we get into the off-season recruiting. See if there's any worthwhile players that we still have to get. See who we can get. Because we do still have some good players on our board. We end up with a 4th round pick. That's nice to see. That really helps our pro potential. Recruiting. No transfer request, yeah. No one transferring from us and no one transferring to us. So we have pretty much 4 players that I'm trying to get, and that is our top 4 on our board. And a couple of other players who I was looking at, and then a good bit of players already committed. We'll go ahead and break down our whole roster. Pretty strong, a better pass blocker, good impact blocking, so he could be a very nice player. He'll be a guy who will redshirt. Then I'm trying to get probably Brandon Landry, him or Marcus Harrison. Then we have Clayton Little. This guy is a beast. He's a gem prospect. He has really good blocking ratings. He's strong, and I think he'll probably redshirt, and then he will be most likely a starter next year. We need to see some growth out of him. Then Luke Woods, the number 14 overall center, 6'1", 277. He's already committed. Nice blocking ratings, good impact blocking, strong, good acceleration. Just a nice player moving forward as some depth. We do have a couple of centers who will be on the roster next year. Of course, if you missed it, we missed out on Greg Covington, who was probably my number 1 overall target. He was like 6'8", like 280, a beast, could move really well, pass rushing moves, but he ended up going to Penn State. So we have Anthony Gray, 6'6", 240. He is a good player, definitely a developmental guy though. At 63 tackling, not great. Pass rushing moves aren't all that great, but has some nice speed, some nice acceleration. And then I need to get one of these guys to get some depth at our defensive line. Defensive tackle, we got Ryan Branch, only 6 foot but 303. He's strong, not very fast, some nice pass rushing moves. Would be a guy who will sit a couple of years and definitely redshirt. Should be a good player moving forward. However, outside linebacker, we have 2 guys. I want to get these 2 other guys as we are graduating, or I guess we graduated like probably 6 or 7 linebackers. So it'll be important to get some new guys for us. Dixon, though, 6'2", 251. He is a beast, gem prospect, nice speed, incredible acceleration. He's strong, hard hitter, good pursuit, pretty good in coverage. So probably he might redshirt. I don't know. I like redshirting all my players. It'll be interesting to see. And then Eric Sykes, he's a 1-star prospect, but 6'5", and he's just a blazer, 88 speed, 92 acceleration. Very raw player, though. He'll be a guy who will most definitely redshirt and hopefully can develop into maybe a reserve linebacker. No middle linebackers. Marcel Stewart, 6'3", number 19 overall corner. He is a beast. He is not a gem prospect, but he is really good. A 75 overall. He's fast, good acceleration, can jump. Not a great tackler, but good play rec, good pursuit. Incredible coverage ratings for a freshman. Not much in the run game, though. Daryl King, another 3-star guy. The number 8 overall safety out of South Carolina. 6 feet tall and some really nice speed. Has some good range. Okay coverage. Probably more of a deep safety and not one who plays in the box. But could be a very good player. He'll be a guy who will sit for a year or 2. George Evans, 6'1", out of California. Okay speed, not great, but not terrible. Not great coverage ratings, but he's a better tackler, better hitter. He could be a very nice in-the-box player. Gotta improve some of the block shedding, though, as his coverage ratings aren't that great, but he can hit pretty hard. And Victor McGill, the number 32 kicker. 74 kick power, 66 kick accuracy, so not great, but he is, well, he'll have to do, as we did graduate our kicker, so hopefully he can at least perform pretty well. But it will be interesting to see what he actually is able to do. But now looking at some of the players that we're targeting who haven't committed yet, we have Brandon Landry, 6'6", a pretty good player, not strong, better run blocker than pass blocker, okay impact, would be a guy who we just need depth. Like right now, let's see, and we have 2 guards on our roster, and one of those is a redshirt freshman who probably will start this year. Then Eric Ford, we need linebacker depth, like I said, 6 or 7 players graduated, 89 speed, pretty good tackler, not a hard hitter, okay in coverage, not great, but pretty strong. Wade Welsh, he is a pretty good defensive tackle, defensive end prospect. I feel like he could be a pretty good pass rusher. Not the most speedy rusher, but some nice pass rushing moves. Pretty good in the run game, can get off blocks. A good tackler, pretty good hitter, and okay pursuit. And then Joe Brown, a JUCO guy, who if we do end up getting him, my plan with him would be, he's a 6'2", only 212, but he is strong, he is fast, and has some pass rushing moves. He might be a guy who's a situational pass rusher, as we don't have a ton of talent along our defensive line, especially at the end spots, with only 4 players on the roster, 1 committed, hoping to get at least 1 more guy. And then some other guys who are sort of backup plans to round out the roster. To start out, we'll go ahead and offer Joe Brown a scholarship. Hopefully we can get him. Brandon Landry, we need to get him for some depth. Go ahead and put maybe like $3K to start off. Hopefully that's enough. Don't have a ton of. Ford, we have a pretty good lead, like 1,500. Hopefully that's enough. And then we'll go back through and look at some of these players. Wade Welsh, who I really want to get. We have to get another defensive end. We'll go ahead and put 3,500 maybe? 3,000 points left. Joe Brown, who I would like to get, we will put 1K on. You. Ford, another 500 on you. Welsh, 700 on you. Pretty much should do it. Only 4 guys I wanted to get. We'll go ahead and look at where our class sits now and see where it sits after signing day. 13 prospects right now. 1 4-star, 9 3-stars. Melvin Hall, our top-rated guy. Clayton Little, Alex Dixon. Pretty good guy. Can you look at some Canadian players and where they're going? Sure. Let's look at Canada. I usually try to look there and see if we can't build that into a pipeline. We got some last year. I don't really think there was a whole ton this year. Only 4 players. A 4-star defensive tackle. Looks like he might be going to either Nebraska or Southern Cal. 6'4", 319. He looks really good. Chad Holt might be going to Akron. 6'4", JUCO, speed receiver. I did scout him. Didn't really impress me all that much. 90 speed. Nate White, a 6'2" guy, going to UConn. And then a 1-star who is going to Army, who's a pass rusher, 6'1", 277. Scouted him. Did not look to be that great. I wish this guy didn't lock me out. He looks to be really, really good. Yeah, program tradition, that always messes me up. I guess we'll go ahead and advance to signing day. See if we can. See which of these players commits to us. Hopefully we end up getting all 4 of these guys. We really need to get the outside linebacker. Matthew Stafford, you didn't miss a whole ton. Just a recap of the season. I went ahead and recapped the season, and all of this will be uploaded to my channel. But it was recap of the full season, and players leaving. Gabe Marks went in the 4th round. No players transferring away from us. No players transferring to us. And now we're at signing day, so you didn't miss a whole ton. See who signed with us. Are you kidding me? Doesn't look that great. Just barely got Brandon Landry by 135 points. That's big. Eric Ford, they went all out on him. Marcus Harrison, they went all out on him. Casey Washington, Ryan Hayes. We ended up getting Wade Welsh, so that's good to see. Doesn't look like we got much else. I really need to get him, or at least him. Not at all. That's really bad. Are you going to show us the recruits for next year? Yeah, once we get to the like the preseason for next year, I'll do a little bit of preseason recruiting, and then I might have a little bit more in the edited off season. And I will finish the stream with some practice with all of our new players. Mainly a lot of the new players, though, will be on our defensive side of the ball. Ending up with a 55th overall class. A 1 4-star Raymond Barber. What? Whoa, whoa, whoa. He committed to UCLA. Oh, no, he... Okay. Rogers commits to us. I don't know who he is. Lundy, Marcus Mann, Marcel Stewart, Sam Graham. I don't know who that is. So it looks like we did get a couple of walk-ons, and one of them appears to be a guy that I was really targeting, but he ended up locking us out. So I guess if we got him, that would be really, really good. We'll have to see what this new team looks like without progression, and then after position changes, we'll look at progression. So, a couple of 85 overalls without progression. Let's look at our team. So, our quarterbacks are the same. Luke Falk looks to be the starter. No new running backs. No new fullbacks. A couple of new receivers. Melvin Hall. 71 overall, 4-star. And Robert Mundy, 6'5" guy. If you missed this guy, he looks to be a beast. 6'5", like I said, 95 speed. Needs to work on his catching a little bit, but a good route runner. Can jump okay, not great. But either way, he looks to be a really good player. Developmental prospect, though. Billy Green. I do not know who you are. 64 overall, number 25 overall tackle. He was a bust. What do your ratings look like? Well, not bad. I don't really know who this is, though. I guess he's a walk-on. Really weak, though. Got Brandon Landry. Got Clayton Little. Luke Woods. I'm going to go back through, just looking at our roster right now, and then I'll actually do some position changes, probably balance out some of the positions. End up getting Sam Graham. I don't know who that is, though. Got Wade Welsh. And Justin Rogers. Do not know who that is. Overall, 67 speed, so it doesn't look to be very good. Eckler, I mean, he's not to be that great. If you missed me saying it, he's a guy who locked us out, and I really wanted to get him. 82 speed. It looks to be really good. And that's really nice to see that we ended up getting him. Alex Dixon. George Evans. Looks like we ended up with a pretty good recruiting class. Now we'll go through and look at positions and what we actually need to change. Here. We'll move you to left tackle. Controller died. So Timothy Love, probably with progression, will be our starter. Eduardo Middleton. Sure, all of them. What do you look like as like a left guard? I want to move you to right here. You to left end. You to left end. Everyone else I want to be yeah, that's definitely something after this year, because we don't have a ton of players graduating. I'm going to target some of the higher overall prospects, the 3 and 4, or the 4 and 5 star guys, and try and get some of the higher rated, because we only have like 8 players I think graduating as a whole. We can definitely target some of those guys. ended up missing out on that guy. Move you to left outside. Yeah, it was a weird situation this year with like this. We actually ended up getting a few players with like guard. We only had 4 on the roster and then ended up graduating 2. So we really had to do a little bit of patchwork with that. Linebacker, I think that looks good now. Good guys. Boyd Proper over on this side, and then Taylor on this side, backed up by Wiley. One thing I wanted to look at was David Buchanan. Better as a whole, he's better than Isaac Dotson, who would probably be the starter. Really want to get he'll be our starter there. Dotson can play in some of the free safety packages that we have. Ulaman Hamid. Good. Back to our offensive line. We have a starter and a backup. Here, Love will be our starter. Little to right. Yeah, that's something that I normally do, and that's how I get guys like, I think Marcel Stewart was one of those guys who had a low lock percentage, but he was a pretty high overall number 19 corner. I think Daryl King was one of those guys with like a low lock percentage. Linebacker? Which safety are you thinking to move to linebacker? Any of them have any strengths that I would probably want? Okay. I don't really know if any of these guys could move to linebacker. Good with Taylor, probably Hoyd, and probably one of these two. I've played other dynasties, but right now my main one definitely is this one. I play like an online dynasty with some of like my close friends in real life. And that's pretty much it for like that. Sure, one more time, go through. Here, I think that looks good. I'm more of a, like my linebackers, I like the fast ones. That's why I got Sykes. I mean, he's big too. I mean, he's 6'4", but he's also, like, my number one thing. Yeah, number one thing I look for in my linebackers is speed. That's like my number one. If you don't have speed, I'll take you off my board immediately. It looks like those are good. Now we can move ahead to training results, see who gets better, see by how much. Need another fullback? Do not want to get a walk-on. That's the last thing in the world that I want. Are there people making the new, I guess the 2016 rosters for this game? 'Cause I'm going to most likely be sticking with this Dynasty for a pretty long time. Now looking at some of the players who got better, we now have 590 overalls on this team. Getting a lot better. 88, 86. So, Falk doesn't get any faster. I wish he would have. After, like, run after moving. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna go for this Dynasty as long as I still find it interesting. I'll use my fullbacks in certain pistol formations. They play a little. Luke Falk, though, 81 throw power, 78 accuracy. Ender actually has a better arm. Something to look out for. Mike Williams, not a huge arm. No one really on our team has a, like, cannon of an arm. Better after the catch. After, like, running. It's a little slower. I'm pretty sure I have that in my playbook. I want to say that's the one with, like, the fullback or like an H-back type position. 290 overall running back. Both fast, good acceleration, break tackle. Oh my goodness. Dangerous backfield. Harrington, Avery Burgess, and Corey Washington. All of them have 90 plus speed. Fucking's pretty good for both of these two. Then move. Juke move for him. Herring's a little worrisome with these bottom three guys. Wicks can catch okay. That looks to be about it. Really block. These two are okay blocking. Best recruit I've ever gotten. Off the top of my head, I got one athlete who I think was like the number 3 overall guy, like in the entire class, and he had like close to like 95 throw power, close to like 90 speed. Was just a complete stud, and entered as like my starting quarterback day one. Evan Chapman gets a little faster. Good to see. A little better carrying. What's his blocking look like? Alright, getting better. Not great though. Wide receivers. This is important. Alright. Okay. So Craycraft up to an 85. LaRue only went up 3. Richie Wiley. He's our only guy in our receiving core who's got any size really. It's 6'2". Next tallest is 6 foot, then a bunch of 5'11 guys, 5'10". So he might honestly get a start day one. Oh, he went up +2 speed. Oh my goodness. He's really good. He was one of my favorite prospects from last year's class. Yeah, I love giving the ball, like from the full house set, giving the ball to Chapman and letting him just run through people. That's always fun to do. Juke move. Not much from Wiley. Catching went up 4. That's good to see. 91 catching from Craycraft. Catching traffic. Route running. 95 route running from Wiley. What about release? Pretty good at getting off the line. Not great, not terrible. Yeah, I don't know if Wiley will be our number 1 overall receiver. I'm thinking that will probably be Craycraft, but maybe number 2 will be Wiley with LaRue in the slot. I think that could be a dangerous receiving core. Bartolone is our number 4, and then some of these guys at the bottom. That could be a good receiving core. Tight end. which wasn't great last year, but they were two true freshmen, one guy redshirted. This is a guy I really like, Xavier Archie. He's the fastest, best acceleration, and he's got the best hands. I guess, actually he doesn't. He's the best catching traffic, best route runner. Dave Robinson probably doesn't play as much this year. He started off playing the most as he was the one with the best blocking ratings, which for a guy, I just felt like that was probably the best for a bunch of freshmen. Monster formation, yeah. The monster formation is something, I don't know if he's the one who made it, but I'm a big South Carolina fan, so Steve Spurrier, I know he used that a little bit at Florida, I think a little bit at South Carolina, and it's just funny to watch like the linemen out there blocking and stuff like that. Woodard goes up 84 overall as a true sophomore. He looks to be a really good player, pretty good backup. And let's see his blocking rating. He was probably, him or Wiley, Brian Wiley was probably one of my favorite recruits from our last recruiting class. Yeah, look at those running. Great blocking ratings from him. Timothy Love, a little worrisome as our left guard. We'll probably have to start. Not great in the run game. Great pass blocker though. Not great in. Holy crap, +8. I don't know if I've ever seen +8 before for Carlos Freeman. He might be starting at left guard then. Riley Sorensen, he looks to be really good. Guard, Eduardo Middleton, probably our best player. No, Sorensen is. Then Middleton. Sam Floor moves back into the starting lineup at right tackle. On defensive ends, this is what really worries me. Ekiwale, I feel okay in. Really strong, not that fast though. I worry about getting pressure, so he might have to bring some more blitzes. Yeah, I don't know if I'm really trying to make it look like a South Carolina team, but that's just like my favorite team. I would love for us to get that good, even though we're not that great. So defensive end, that could be a little worrisome. I think Jesse Shaw could be really good. I mean, he's quick. He's got some good pass rushing moves. Let's see. Not a great tackler, good hitter, good pass rushing moves. He might actually get the start. Comparison, better pass rusher, better power moves. He's a better tackler. Probably will do a little bit more rotating this year on the defensive line. Fernandez and Mataafa. Mataafa, pretty good pass rusher. He's quick. He's got good acceleration. He played a little bit this year. I did a little bit of he's got better finesse moves, but he's got better power moves. Better in the run game. It'll be interesting to see probably a lot of players playing into their roles of starting along this defensive line. Barber returns, really our best player along this defensive line. Maybe our best player overall. He's 90 overall, and then after him, some questionable players. Mo Tapa, Jimmy Benson, Alex Gibson. One of them will probably have to back him up. It'll be interesting to see. Barber, he looks to be a beast. Mo Tapa, pretty good. Not. Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know, I want to play, like last year we played Virginia Tech, who ended up being like number 2 or 3 in the nation at the end of the year. And I want to play another tough team, like you said, to test this team out and just give us an interesting game to play. Harris Taylor gets up to an 80. Nice speed. Brian Wiley, he's a player that I really like. He might be another guy who plays a little bit as a situational pass rusher. He's got some good pass rushing moves. Good tackler, good hitter. Pretty not great in coverage. Taylor's better. Pueller and Linnu? I have no idea. I'll have to figure that out. One of them will be the starter, probably Lou, or I don't know. Probably gets the start week 1. We'll see how everyone performs in practice. Yeah, just looking at this, he looks to be probably the better choice. Then Hoyd goes up 2 speed, 3 acceleration, so he looks to be really good. Really fast at least. The good hitter, not great pass rushing moves. I might play South Carolina, as I would like to play some of the players that I know well from their team before they're all gone. Georgia could be interesting. Penn State. I might want to wait a year for Penn State and do like a game against Greg Covington if he doesn't transfer. Yes, our defensive backs in the hedges. Daquan Brown. Yeah, our secondary looks to be a lot better this year. The first 2 years they've struggled, but we've just been so young. We now have some upperclassmen, a lot of upperclassmen. Basically 580 overalls. Let's look at some of these coverage ratings. So Daquan Brown looks to be a really good corner. Jeff Farrar looks to be good. Charleston White. Looks like we can really do some of the nickel packages and dime packages this year, not be too scared about it. Cannon goes up 4, Dotson goes up 3, Suleiman Hamid. I like him as is your rivalry game Idaho? I don't know. I might do a game against Idaho, just depends on if they're available and who else is available. I wouldn't mind doing like a little bit of a series with them, at least finishing up a home and home against them. Lamora gets to a 90 overall. He's played really well the first 2 years, had a couple of interceptions. Good hitter, good tackler, good pursuit, good coverage. He looks to be really good. That's nice to see. I think our secondary is going to be pretty good this year. I don't think there's really too many weaknesses. Then our kicker doesn't get better. And it should be open days like a warm-up. Yeah, I might do them as my first game. As I'd like to do for the first game of the season is sort of a tune-up game, sort of get familiar with some of the new players and get off to a nice start on the season. But Jordan Descalo, he goes up 88. He looks to be a good punter for us. And we'll look at some of the top players. Morrow, Barber, Lamora, Witt, Descalo, Daquan Brown, Craycraft, LaRue. Yeah, Georgia's secondary, they've had a couple of players transfer, though, over the years. Like Trey Matthews, I think, transferred to Auburn. And I think they've probably had some talented guys, just probably hasn't worked out very well for them. I know last year, South Carolina's secondary was just garbage. Yeah, I think our offensive line, only issue, though, like we have a senior. So we need to get some new depth coming in. Defensive ends are really what worries me most. I think our linebackers aren't going to be quite as good as they were last year, but I still think they'll be pretty good. Nothing crazy, but nothing too bad. I think our corners are going to be a whole lot better. I'm sure you do love your team. National champion, three probably quarterbacks who could start for almost any team in the nation. Buchanan and Lamora, and then Descalo. So now we have to move on to probably my least favorite part of the season. Yeah, I found that run defense is probably easier than pass defense. I feel like no matter what you do, if it's on Heisman, a lot of teams will just kill you through the air, and there's really nothing you can do, it gets a little frustrating. Alright, so we only have to cut 2 players. Let's see. Any weird walk-on? And Graham, Green. 2 players we have to cut. None of our quarterbacks, none of them. I mean, none of our receivers. I want to keep all of our defensive linemen. Yeah, I've had to lower on the sliders, the opponent quarterback accuracy pretty much to like basically all the way for them to have a realistic completion percentage. I think anyone there. Don't really want to cut him. Nothing really there. No one there. Oh, I don't know who I want to cut. Maybe Calvin Green? Order. I think I'm gonna cut this guy. He's about the same age. He's fast, but he's really short, and his coverage ratings aren't good at all. I think we're gonna cut Pat Porter, and we can bring in some other corners after Daquan Brown graduates. One more player to cut. Need our safeties. We're graduating. Yeah. The only thing with Sykes, though, is we need our depth at outside linebacker. And I don't really like cutting players that I just brought in. So, have a walk-on. Do maybe one of the guards that came in, but we need that. Rogers. He's really slow. Pushing moves. I don't know. File petition with the NCAA to allow you to one more play on the roster. I know. I don't really know who to cut, because graduating some more players, maybe a cut. Yeah, maybe a cut Billy Green. I think that's probably who we'll go with. He's not strong. We need more guard depth than we have. Green's a walk-on, not very good. We'll go ahead and cut him. 70 players. If there's anything I need to do in custom conferences, or we'll just make sure. Alright, so I think this team is going to be pretty good moving forward. I just hope we don't take a step back after 9 games on the year. Did you add Navy to the American? I'm pretty sure I did. I think I did that last offseason. Yeah, I got Navy in here. Louisville. They're in there, so that looks good. Well, we're good on. Now we're into the preseason. Doesn't take too long, only like an hour, 20 minutes. So we'll go through all this stuff, look at our team, and then we'll do some practice mode to finish up the stream. So let's look at redshirting. Do that first. Custom schedule height. Yeah. Okay. So I think I gotta redshirt these two. So buried on the depth chart. I have a couple guys graduating. Sure, Luke Woods. Branch. Barber. Him. King. Let's go back through it one more time. Redshirt both receivers. They're just too buried right now for them to actually get any playing time. I want to redshirt Landry. Redshirt Landry. Woods. We're going to be pretty thin at offensive line, though. We redshirt him. How many active offensive linemen do we have? I think we can get by with 8 players active. We'll redshirt him. Out of your redshirt, Wade Wells. I think it's worth that. Redshirt Marcel Stewart. Him. Let's look at our depth chart. I think that looks good. Luke Falk is the starter, Fender is the backup, and Chris. Morrow is the starter. Gerard Wicks, Keith Harrington, Avery Burgess. Probably do Steve Stewart. Wide receiver, that's the question. Him. Any more left tackles? Do that's probably good. Love. I think I'm gonna start. Love is more aware. He's better pass blocker. He's better run blocker. And I'm gonna do Carlos Freeman starting at left. Love. Love. Guard. Then right tackle. Lord. We'll do Hernandez, then him. Cool. Wiley. Linyu for his red shirting. Boyd. Riley. Corner. War. Nickel. I'm thinking Wiley. Do South Carolina, they run like a probably like a 4-2-5. Weird, cause like I guess the third safety slash what would be a linebacker is like a hybrid type guy who can play deep or who can play in the box. So it's a weird hybrid system. I think they're getting away with that with the new defensive coordinator. Alright, so there's depth chart, custom schedule. This is where it gets interesting. Not playing a FCS. Who all do we play? We play Stanford, Arizona State, Cal, Colorado, Utah, Oregon, Oregon State, Washington. Baylor. Let's do like 4 games, 4 game. Let me know who you guys want to see me play. Sort of thinking open the year against Idaho at home. Sort of a maybe they available. South Alabama. I don't think I'm going to be playing Alabama. They're a little too good for me. Maybe I'll play Alabama in the future. And two away games. We play like one. Good, but not great. Like a really good team. Those are all good. Like Kentucky ranked. Boy on the road. No. Miami, Alabama, South Carolina, Michigan. Kansas State. At home. Easy game. You play Kansas State. So what I'm thinking is like 2 lesser teams that we can sort of beat up on, and 1 team from probably like a Power 5 conference, and who's okay, and then play like a really tough team. In this situation, South Carolina would be a really tough team. What do you think about this schedule? Start off against Idaho, then play Kansas State, bye week at South Carolina, Pac-12 play Memphis. Are they available here? No. I kind of want to play a weird road game here. I don't know why. Yeah, they would probably They're number 23 in the nation. Anyone else? Shoot. I think they're a pretty good tough team. They're probably pretty, yeah. Idaho would be like the tune-up game. Then Kansas State, a team from like a team from a Power 5 conference who's good, but they're like sort of mid-level, who should be a pretty, hopefully an even matchup. Then we play South Carolina, who should be a tough game, and then Troy is another. Good, they had Optimus Klein. Oh yeah, what was his name? I remember he was really good. I like that schedule. What, you think this is good? Play. Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully they'll just lay down and die. Who are our teams from the other conference? Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah. Yeah, Colin Klein. That was his name. I remember he had like a ton of rushing touchdowns, I think. Kansas State had that one really, really good season. I think that's good. End the year with Washington, Oregon State, Oregon. If we need to, we can come back to it, but I think that's good to start out with. Now we can let's look at the teams that we're going to be playing. They look to be pretty good. 3 really good running backs, a couple of good receivers. Quarterback looks a little weak though. 50 overall. I remember the one year I think they beat like Oklahoma. That was a really good game. Oklahoma's really highly rated. They played in like maybe the Fiesta Bowl against Oregon. Good receivers. Yeah, this looks to be a pretty good team to play. Good offensive line, it appears. A lot of depth though. They might be better than us. Yeah, they look to be a good team. Weak secondary though. Oh, really weak secondary. Pick that apart. We have Idaho. One thing I wouldn't mind getting is like this year in recruiting is like a quarterback of the future, and then like a premier pass rusher, which Greg Covington was supposed to be, but he likes Penn State, I guess. I mean, they look okay. Pretty good quarterback. Not a great line. So probably a good test for our defensive line. Be exactly what I'm looking for. Then we have Troy, which has Greg Bryant, who transferred to them. I forget where he was. I saw that when I was looking at it one time. Yeah, he was at Notre Dame. He's a stud. 93 overall. Great. Looks like a okay quarterback. Really good running back, though. 2 really good ones. Receiver. Good tight end. Pretty good defensive or offensive line. I like to be a pretty good team. Yeah, I'll do them next. I'll do South Carolina next. They look okay. Got TJ Holloman, Jazz Elder, Darius English, Cody Waldrop, Craig Green. Crazy. Jordan Diggs, Connor Mitch is their quarterback still, Chris Moody, Guy Moore, Abu Lamine. Although they look to be pretty good. They look to be really good. Quarterback, you got Mitch, Williams, Hunter, line, Abu Lamine, Kelsey Griffin, Jordan Diggs, TJ Holloman, Guy Moore, Jonathan Walton, Bryson Allen Williams. Holy crap. They are really good. That's going to be a tough test. Formation subs. They're all now. A little preseason recruiting. I don't create any prospects, so let's see. Hopefully there's some good players interested in us. 11-2. I don't know about that. I would love an 11-2 season. Only 9 seniors this year, so we're really young. One at corner. I would love. My probably #1 goal is I want to make a Pac-12 championship this year. No idea what are you? Back, I guess. Not very good. One really that good. It's our defensive tackle. Put him on the board. One, the 4-star athlete. He didn't really look that good though. But he can't catch the ball. Or maybe he is a fullback. Do I really want to? Can't throw the ball. We'll put him on, see if what he actually looks like. Oh, go for a quarterback. People have me as their top school. 42 players. All right. Okay. Travis Smith. right. Robert Weiss. Look at Cole. We could use a tackle. A wide receiver. Put him on the board. Look at him. Rhodes. Two. Yeah, both Morrow and Wicks are both juniors, so I will probably look to get a running back this year. And I do not have Instacommit yet. Okay. No one that great. Linebacker. Six, 8, 260. Gotta look at that. Two. Two. Alaska and Canada. Tackle, receiver, guard. Chad Flowers. Canada. running back. Hopefully. Who's the running back you're talking about? Corey Hare. Guard. He does look pretty good. Get him. It's the only issue. A lot of schools to compete with. Oregon, Southern Cal, UCLA, yeah. And that's already 33 players. He is their first overall. Probably. Out of Washington. Okay. I like that. 6'5", good speed, good acceleration, good pass rushing moves. Tight end. 6'8". Oh, that sucks. That really fast run. Wood, Lincoln, Lewis, Corey Harris. So hard to get him if I try. A speed, A acceleration, A agility, A elusiveness. Any of these guys are really what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's a no fly. Pool is not good. These guys look very good. Hold off, these are important scouting points. Corey Harris. Oh my goodness. 80 overall. Speed, 97 acceleration, 94 agility, 93 elusiveness, 89 juke, 88 spin. Oh my gosh. God. I know. He's got to be one of our top targets. It's just, Matt entering as a freshman too. That's incredible. He's going to be so hard to get though. Because you know everyone's going to want him. I know. Anyone else who has us first? Robert White. I don't really know if I want any of these other running backs now. Alright, so I wouldn't mind getting a quarterback. We have 9 spots to fill. Look at this. This is really fast. Receiver. Ball. How are you good at catching the ball in traffic? Amazing route running, but you can't catch. With a little bit of size. Birch? I think I gotta aim a little higher. What's his name?